Hi guys, this will be another video for Commentary Monday. I want to kind of showcase this blue deck that isn't seeing a lot of play for this format. I think personally this deck is really good for this format because it has the ability to ramp and has access to all the good blue cards, as well as being able to draw almost twice a turn per turn. So I really like this leader. The only downside of this leader is probably the untap 2 ability to awaken. Preferably, I'd rather have an untap 1, draw 1, or even just to draw 2. But fine, the deck's fine as it is because it does keep a large hand size if it can, and it does generate a +2 every turn. So yeah, we're gonna go into the video here. The idea of this deck is to be able to lock out my opponent from using all their level energy cost of 4 or less cards. Energy 4 or less cards are basically running rampant in today's meta, but especially in this matchup, there's a lot of Gokus and Vegetas that are level 4s or energy 4s or lower. So Dangerous Triangle will come down in this game as a spoiler for you guys, but that's my deck's core strategy. So let's start the video here. I'll try to do it at ×2 speed so we can speed up the process. So the card you want to mulligan for in this matchup is the Ace card. I'll put it on screen so you guys know what it is. It draws a card on play when it's played from the hand, and then from there you'll be able to reduce the play cost of an energy cost by 1 for the next U9 card that you play. It also has barrier, which is really nice against decks that try to remove cards early. So having that barrier is really good. So that's the card you want to mulligan for. Another card you want to mulligan for is Row. Since I already opened it in my opening hand, there's no need to see it. But the Row allows me to ramp by 2 energy, and by turn, I believe 4, I'll have 6 energy, and then I can play Vegeta. Vegeta, if y'all probably already know who he is able to ramp up to 4 energy, and then by turn 10, I'll have a lot of energy to work with. All the cards that I play at the end of turn with my Bergamo ability allows me to generate a +1 and also take life so that I can self-awaken. So that's the cool thing about this leader, is that it has a way to self-awaken as well as generate a lot of value. I would say probably the only downside to this leader is that if I do decide to awaken, self-awaken, I have to wait until the end of my turn to do so. And so it'll most likely be my opponent's turn by the time I have 4 life, because I take the life at the end of turn. So it looks like I drew a Dangerous Triangle in my opening hand. He starts off with Kabito Kai. Kabito Kai lets him look at the top 5 cards of his deck. Pretty sure he searched for the super combo. Let's just go back real quick. So with the Kabito Kai, he searched for the Goku. That particular Goku allows him to awaken when he's at 2 or more energy, and when he controls that. So here I charge a Bergamo. That Bergamo lets me draw a card on play, and also it gains 2k for each energy on the board, including my opponent's. So it can get really large sometimes. So I draw for turn by attacking, and then I pay 1 energy to play at 1 cost, pretty much. So I play Dangerous Triangle. The Dangerous Triangle is pretty much the core strategy of this deck. When I control all the dogs, I basically make my opponent negate all of my opponent's battle cards that cost 4 or less, and which is really easy to do when your deck's ramping a lot. And there's a card called Mark of the Wolves. You'll see soon enough. That card is really busted in this deck. So at the end of turn, I play the Ace card, which is the card I was talking about. It has a barrier, reduces the play cost of the next card, and also it draws me a card. So here my opponent does decide to not awaken. Clearly he has the life advantage here, or he has the life advantage of being able to stay at 8 life, but typically I would want to rival the Goku here. And he does do that, and then he can awaken here because he now controls the Goku, but he would have to go down to 5 life. So not sure how to play Majin Vegeta too well, but I've seen my opponents, they always try to awaken as quickly as possible. So he passes turn after I take the 2 damage from both the leader swing and the Goku swing. I charge a 1-drop, which allows me to look at the top 3 for U9. For those of you guys who don't know, I draw a card from the attack, and then I play Oregano here. The cool thing about Oregano here is that it lets me bottom deck the wolves, because you want the wolves back in the deck, or the dogs back in the deck, so that when you play Mark of the Wolves, you can play it from the deck. I play a limited copy of the card that is bottom decked, and also the Lavender as well. So then I draw 2 cards here, and then I pretty much start really well. In a turn, I play another Regno in the event that I drew another one. So I bottom deck the one drop that lets me look at the top 3. So it looks like they didn't draw any Bergamo, which is good. You want the Bergamo 4-drop in the deck that locks them out from attacking with their battle cards. Also, that gives buried all the trio monsters, which is really strong. Starts to turn off again by attacking with his leader. Now he decides to awaken me, even though he's probably seen enough of what I'm doing here. He sees that I'm generating a lot of advantages on the front side. So he decides that he's probably going to try to take me down quick. I decided to combo about these guys because I don't know if the backside ability lets them basically rest one of my guys, but he's playing yellow. Yellow likes to tap down a lot of stuff anyway, so that's why I decided to combo the cards that don't have a barrier, so that it can't be rested and pretty much KO'd by his cards. So he decides to swing with, or he uses the, oh no, he attacks with the Goku here, and then I take the damage here. Not giving him more card advantage, there's no need. I'm going to try to allow him to awaken me here. So he pays 1 energy for the dynamic duel. This card would have killed my my Regnos had they been in rest mode, but it doesn't do that, so it's fine. It has double strike, so I'm really hesitant to take this damage even if he just decides to swing with it. But the cool thing is that if I do awaken, I will have a lot of energy to work with. So a cool play is if I'm if I'm at 4 or less life and I'm on turn 3, what I can do is reduce the cost of Row, which is the ramp card, down to 2. Then play the Row for 2 with 3 energy, so I'll have 1 energy up. Then I'll theoretically, I mean, ideally, I can ramp 2, go to 5 energy, and then with the 5 energy, I can restand 2 energy with the leader ability. So I'll have 3 energy in the open, and then I can play a card called Comfrey, or Comfy, which allows me to cheat out a card and play Mark of the Wolves. Mark of the Wolves is a 4-cost card that I can cheat out with the Comfy and then play 2 more wolves and then enable my Dangerous Triangle. So I decided to take that damage knowing that that I can do that. So at end of turn, he restands his 4-drop. I charge to 3, and you don't need a second copy of this card, so I decided to charge it. I reduce the cost of the row here to 2, and then I look at the top 2 and ramp. I think I hit both of them, and I did. So I ramped. I unfortunately lose my 4-drop, but this 4-drop allows me to pretty much lock out my opponent from attacking with the battle cards. Oh, I mean, they don't lock out attacking from the battle card. What it does is every time it gets swung at, it gets +5. It gives barrier to all my true to dangers, and also all my battle cards have to swing. All of his battle cards have to swing into the Bergamo, and then basically this is where they tax their hand. Basically, if they have combo up on it. So here I can awaken now. Untap the 2 energy, like I said, and then I can play Comfy, tap out, and play the Mark of the Wolves. I swing with my leader first before I decide to do this. In theory, I shouldn't have done that. I could have drawn into one of my pieces, and then Mark of the Wolves would not be able to trigger. But I didn't, so I combo out the Row because Row is not going to do me any... it's pretty much going to do any damage here, so I might as well Z-charge it as quickly as possible. Okay, I attack the 19k Goku, combo the Row away, he lets it die. I contemplate whether I even want to do this, but in theory it's actually correct to do this because you'll have the wolves as soon as possible. Since he does play a hefty amount of 4 costs, this card itself is a 4 cost, so I can negate the double strike, and it does have the ability to choose a battle card and negate the skill. Not that it can ignore barrier anyways. So I tap out 4, play Comfy, and then I play Mark of the Wolves. Mark of the Wolves lets me play 2 U9 cards from my deck. I choose to play the Bergamo and the, I think his name is Basil. And now my Dangerous Triangle is now live. All I have to do is have my Bergamo in rest mode and I'll have the lock. I decide to go for the battle card here. He decides to negate or activate Forbidden Power so he can end my turn. He sees a lot of battle cards, so it makes sense that he would do this. So I only have 1 more battle card swing after this. I think I decide to attack with... oh no, it looks like I pass. So at the end of the turn, after I attack with the leader on the backside, I'm allowed to play a 2 cost or less U9 card. And I play another ace that allows me to draw a card. So it does generating more advantage. Most of my advantage will be on the board rather than on the field. I actually played this matchup before. I actually lost because I forgot that the Z leader could basically clear my whole board. So for my strategy right now is that I'm hoping to have the board and poke him until he decides to use the nuke ability on the Z leader. So that's kind of my game plan right now before I decide to commit any more resources. And I'm also going to combo away the guys that don't have barrier on his swings so that they have utility, so that I don't lose card advantage when he decides to nuke my board. Okay, he decides to swing with the leader, and I instruct him that because now I have each of the dogs on the board, he can't swing at my leader with his leader, so I'll have to go into my battle cards. I'll have to go into the Bergamo specifically, because it's the only thing in res mode. So then I get a +5 here, so he has to combo up if he wants to kill it. He decides to use a super combo, go up to 25. Now I only have to combo 5k for my board, which I decided to do. I decided to combo the Comfrey and the Bergamo. So it looks like he was swinging for more. He was actually swinging for 30 because of the leader ability to take life. So you can actually fall into a trap here where because the Z leader requires that they have 3 or less life to Z awaken, he can actually use this activate battle ability on the backside of the leader to go down to 3 and then Z awaken. That'll catch people off guard, so just be careful about that, guys. I decided to charge here, and I charged the Raditz Unison. Only a replacement for the Boo Unison because the Boo Unison is gone. So I decided to play Raditz instead, which is the next best thing. Because it does have blocker, and it can restand again after blocking. So here I start poking him to see if he can I can bait out the ability to nuke the board. I swing in for 20, which is really good. He does have 3 energy open, so I'm fully expecting a riposte to come down. Even if riposte comes down, I can rest the dangerous triangle as a cost to attack, which is really nice about that. So he decides to take the damage down to 3, and so I still have more attacks. With 6 energy, my Basil or my Lavender, or no, his name is Basil, is actually at 21k. Dual attack. So his leader is Sensu beamed up because of his ability. I'll swing twice here for 21, and he'll have to combo out 5k to get out of this one. He decides to activate the Black Kamehameha. Unfortunately, these guys have a lot of barrier because of my 4 drop, so he won't be able to rest anything. Well, at least he is able to draw a card. And then get +10k. I swing again for another 21k. He activates Riposte. Looks like he drew it off the Black Kamehameha. Unfortunately, Riposte won't be able to trigger his ability to basically tax me because Dangerous Triangle. I forgot about that ability. Okay, now I swing Mark of the Wolves for 20, hoping to combo him, forcing him to awaken. Looks like he Z awakens rather than comboing away as a Riposte. So it's a 25 base, or 20 base, but the 5k gets transferred because of what it does. So I swing with the leader to draw a card. And then I decide to combo up, I think. No, I don't, because it's a 25 base. Looks like I drew a Hachiyak in hand, so I can kind of commit more to the board a little bit. Vegeta would be really nice here if I did draw it or have it. I looked at my my Z deck. It looks like I kind of wanted to go into the Cell to absorb these two. And then since Cell has a base of 25, that's actually really nice for me because the base 25 matches with his base 24 or his stat of 25. Let's see if I decide to do it. Oh yeah, another strategy I play is Tragedy Overground. So since this deck ramps a lot, I can actually lock my opponent from playing their big threats with Tragedy Overground. The only downside of that is that I can't have 2 field spells, so I'll have to replace the Dangerous Triangle in that process. It looks like I go for the Unison play here. Allows me to do a +1, get blocker twice. And he also restands himself, which is really nice. So instead of attacking, I decide to pass here because there's no point in attacking to a 25 base. So the cool thing about this is if he does decide to swing with a big battle card into my Unison, or my lock basically, I can block with the Raditz twice and take markers off. The leader also protects my Unison from being attacked by his leader as well. So it looks like he decides to pass here, and then I go back up to basically back up. So it gives me a whole other turn of drawing. So I'm allowed to draw like one here, and then one off the end of turn. And then I can pressure his whole board with the 20Ks. So here, the same game plan here. I don't want to commit too many resources to the nuke, so I decide to attack with everybody one by one until he decides to use the nuke ability. So I attack with Bergamo here. He combos away the Riposte. I attack with the Basil. And this allows me to attack twice because he's a dual attack, and with the 7 energy, he's a 22,000. So I'll have to combo another 5k. He activates Time Magic so it doesn't restand. Attack with Mark of the Wolves, he goes down to 2. Attack with Raditz. And unfortunately, I do have to combo up on this tech because his leader is a 20k base. So it looks like I decided not to. Combo up on the Raditz and instead play another Bergamo. I can reduce the cost with the ace on the board. So now with 2 Bergamo, I can basically stop all his battle card swings. Because when you have 2 on the board, you can't attack with any battle card at all. On the play, he decides to activate the 8-drop. Because the 8-drop is an 8-drop on the board, it won't be negated by Dangerous Triangle, so his auto will proc. I'll have to rest something if I want to attack. And I decided to rest my Dangerous Triangle, which is really nice. Play combos away the Dynamic Duo. I attack with the leader and then combo with the ace off the board, just in case he decides to nuke here. Here you can probably combo away the Vegeta here. Looks like he decides to nuke, which is good. For me, now I don't have to worry too much about the commitment. So with 4 energy, I can probably play my another Mark of the Wolves, but I would have to tap out. So it looks like I do have another Comfrey, so I can keep 1 energy open at the very least. I do have 2 super combos by the looks of it, so even if he decides to go ham, I can actually survive. Okay, I activate that and play Mark of the Wolves. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of the 4-drop, but that's enough for me to Dangerous Lock him, because I do have 3 different wolves. So Bergamo, this one counts as only as all 3, but it can only be one of the 3 because to count towards the Dangerous Triangle and the leader ability. So unfortunately, I can't just have one Mark of the Wolves and satisfy all the conditions. So I play another Basil here, allow him to pressure the board a little bit, and I leave it inactive so that I don't have to attack with it because I'm still underneath the Vegeta here. And in my turn, draw a card with Bergamo, and then this Bergamo, because I have so many energy, and I'm potentially going to 8 energy, this Bergamo will get 2k for each energy, and his energy, so he'll go to 5, and I'll have 8. So theoretically, 13 energy times that by 2 is 26, so he'll be a 30k, he'll be a 30k 1-drop. That's pretty good, right? And allows me to draw a card. So he plays his Goku here, draws a card. The drawing ability is an activate main ability, so it'll activate his hand. But once he hits board, then he won't have any more skills. So he does have the ability to rest my Unison, I think, on activate battle. He decides to rest the battle card. And he plays Basil he plays Bergamo to rest my energy and one of my barrier guys. And it is a 5-drop, so it plays under Dangerous Triangle here. So I'm tapped out, but I have a lot of cards in my hand and board, so I'm not too worried here. If I swing in for 20 here, I can choose to block if I want to. I decide to hatch yak him, pretty much to end his turn. And then at this point, I can pretty much drop Turning the Tide here. I do play that card, and then empty out his whole hand in the event that I need to do it. Here I'm guessing, I'm trying to gauge like what yellow card can do to stop the deflect. And I decided no, he doesn't have it. So then we shuffle our whole hand away, and then I pretty much win the game here because he only has 1 life and no cards in hand. So that's game. Yeah, so I just want to demonstrate to you guys how this deck works, and I think pretty much this deck has a lot of potential to be a very top tier deck, being able to generate a lot of advantage. However, I haven't found a way to crack it yet. I still lose to yellow decks that play Tyrannical Blow. Tyrannical Blow can essentially negate the row, causing me to lose my ability to ramp. And there's a lot of decks that just like to attack and ignore barrier, so my Bergamo lock would not be as well. If you Vegeta Final Flash the 4-drop Bergamo in rest mode, you can actually turn off his ability to give barrier to everybody. So that's also really good against me as well. So yellow seems to be a very good bad pick against this matchup. But he didn't draw the Final Flash or have it, and he didn't have the Tyrannical Blow as well. But yeah, that was my commentary video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll have another one for next Monday. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.